lovely to see so many of you here and filling the room, as is traditional of this wonderful venue. I'd like to add my congratulations to all the people who are congratulating us all on last night. You guys were really so important for the whole night, and you performed as we traditionally expect Year 12 to perform, but I do think it was a few degrees above even that. So congratulations, it was a wonderful contribution. Tonight really is more traditionally about acknowledging the input to your year level of those not necessarily spotlighted last night. Those who have added essential colour to this year's group, those who have created tone or indelible memories on which both students and staff can feed for many decades to come. They offer quick ways to recall the class of 2008. So here's a bit of a roll call, it's very selective, but it's a bit of a roll call. Matt Nielsen, what talent this young man has. Please, Matt, keep that irreverent and eclectic wit running wild. We want to see you on stage in adult life. We will long remember the hilarious and usually feral scenes you and your fellow theatre sports junkies, Jake Strasser and other crazies, were able to create for us during the house competition in Adelaide, the Adelaide visit. Simon Bruckard. As a talented school pianist, on Monday mornings he became better known by the owners of the Chapel Street coffee shops. In his honour, during the year we created the first school pianist vice captain, who performed at some Monday assemblies. Simon also gave me many troubled times in the theatre studies production of As You Like It. Just how good Simon was, along with Sasha Leonard, Brian Baker, Nick Maloney, in convincing me that they weren't simply males acting female roles. They were the real thing. Jack and Alex Liao. Two of the nicest guys you could ever meet. They would often come into WAFS in my office, always together, asking about some other community service idea that they had come up with. And I'm sorry, I still have no idea which is which. Yanni Bernardis, Air Force cadet fame and also extreme guitar playing notoriety, what a talent. Naveen Zanetti, this is a bit of a chance for a get back, Naveen. An imposing year as an excellent vice captain, perhaps to be best remembered more for his creative work with Daniel DeBono. Both were keen to astound Woody with their pancake cooking skills learned through FIG during the year. They did some things right. They used the correct ingredients, they served them with ice cream, and they personally delivered them. They made a few mistakes. They delivered them to Woody during a Year 11 class. One, the pancake was standard pancake colour, the other was black. The ice cream was artistically placed to match the pancake's well-crafted shapes as lifelike, large, perfectly formed phalluses. Woody's class was never the same. Nick Panisse. It was after Nick, Todosenso and I had sorted through a few things regarding how he was travelling when I was watching the annual cadet parade on the hockey field. And there was the same boy out there leading the Tatum band through an hour of remarkable marching and playing. Suddenly put a lot of things in perspective for me and made me see Nick in quite a different light. And it was good of Nick, of course, to arrange things for speech night so that James McGivern could have a go as band leader for that night. There's a story there. Speaking of James, not many realise that while you're all trying to study for your trial exams at the end of Term 3, James is also doing extra time for planning and running the annual pig dinner for 100 people on the last day of Term 3. It wasn't a bad optional extra. Callum Friend. We should all be in awe of the difficulties that Callum has gone through during the exams. From a healthy, active young man up until the week before the exams, he suddenly found himself in hospital battling a severe illness. He just managed to sit the exam in hospital, the English exam, and was then so sick he couldn't even do that for the rest. Thankfully, he's on the mend and deserves much support from you, and congratulations from all of us for his ability to get through it all. Along the same lines as our admiration for Callum, you should also admire and continue to support many of your colleagues who have done it very tough for various reasons through various times over the VCE years. There's a story in each one of these. Anders Wong, Danny Gannon, Jason Radatsky, Chris Gann, Daniel Lewis-Tokley, Dylan Hamilton-Ho, and Daniel Rolster, just to name a few. The strength and perseverance of these boys has been remarkable. Chris Morgan. To me, Chris embodies the quintessential Melbourne High School mix. Someone who can be in the musical, love physical training, play sports to the nth degree, love showing off your six-pack, given half a chance, and give inspiring speeches as house captain. His performance in front of Como before the House Cross Country will long be remembered by those who witnessed it. Luke Stevenson, a prodigious musical talent, always seemingly wandering the corridors in some vague state with air bubbles above his head filled with musical notes. The Downball Boys. Woe-betide any student not aligned to this group who inadvertently wandered to the canteen forecourt outside T4 or T5, inside and outside class time. You'll be pleased to know that about 1 hour after your final assembly, a very similar looking group of Year 11s had assumed total control of that space. So the tradition continues. Ricky Baxter and Ben Lipson, who continue to amaze us all by their ability on any day to have a 5 o'clock shadow by recess. Trent Bond. Bonnie without a football was as unusual as Ali Securia being nice to McRob's staff. The SRC Cabinet, the essential and talented backing group for all those SRC-inspired and managed student activities that most of you think just magically happen during the year. Anushka Munasinghe. What a character Anushka is. His creative addition to 2 of his mates' final week will be remembered. Just ask him to connect these words. Auntie Val at reception, master key, 20s building, ceiling and a bloody big hole through the plaster that mentioned. Daniel Gregg. Not many of your company managed to fit in time to complete the VCE successfully, but Daniel did this in addition to weeks away overseas, travelling on an international age-level trip to a competition and won a world gold medal in inline skating. Mark Walyov. Magnificent work in acting and public speaking during the year, but also more subtly as our beloved Duke during the year at all public occasions, appropriately given the featured page in the uniform. Another thing that's been memorable about your VCE years has been the political scene. For those members of staff who can remember the heady years in the 1960s and early 70s, way back, during the last couple of years there's been a definite and recent reminiscence of those times. The hope and optimism of the Kennedy era in the 1960s with first John and then Robert Kennedy creating real change, anticipation and vigour within the American psyche has been matched by the slow and relentless push towards the presidency of Barack Obama. It's been wonderful for us oldies to once again experience the euphoria accompanying the rise of a popular, dynamic and talented young leader. And within Australia, the national desire for change after a long period of Liberal dominance has been neatly paired between the popular rise of Gough Whitlam in the late 60s and 70s and that of the Rudd government during last year. So along with your maturation as the prospective tertiary students and well-rounded members of society, the last couple of years should also have awakened and or entrenched a deep appreciation of the central place of political renewal for all of us. And speaking of popular and effective leaders, Peter Wood and Todd Asensio have done a great job this year. And I believe they're actually staying together next year, so it's the first time for Woody without discarding a partner at the end of each year for the last 5 years. And we can't leave out your principal during the Blue Week. You've got another area of your school life which you don't necessarily appreciate, the amount of work that this man does behind the scenes to make sure the school is sailing straight and true, and all the processes which you do take for granted to promote your academic excellence are maintained. And the work he does behind the scenes is remarkable. It always reflects effective leadership when you only appreciate how good it's been when the need for such leadership has gone. So now that you're graduating from Year 12, you should realise the debt that you owe those who have shepherded you through those times. Take the chance tonight to thank not only Woody and Todd and Mr. Luwick, but also your form teachers and past teachers, many of whom are here tonight, and that's a sign of respect for you.